Okay, wild and crazy field trip today. I am here with who I call the Bee Lady. But tell them who you really are and what your true title is.
My name is Amber Butterfield Pelish. I am a beekeeper. I'm also known as an apiarist. Yes, that's the word. It's a mouthful. I started a company called Ambee Assembly, and I take care of bees. I take care of bees on farms, on people's homes, at my house that drives my husband crazy, and pretty much any place that I can stash some bees. I have bees stashed there. This land right here is in conjunction with another farm that's in Delray, and they are a chicken farm. So they were raising chickens over on the other lot over there. And I sell the honey in their farm store, and I keep bees right there. And I got into bees because I watched somebody do a live bee removal, and it kind of blew my mind. And when I was a little kid, I grew up in the woods, so like my best friends were, plants and bugs and critters I would see. And so I've always had a love for nature and ecosystems and living creatures that are not humans. And so I watched the bee removal and I got hooked. And my husband bought me a suit for my 48th birthday, I think. And I found some wild bees in my neighborhood, and I went and did the removal and learned a lot of mistakes that are actually lessons along the way.
Always lessons in life.
Yep. And then that just started it. And then it was a weird time where I couldn't find anybody really to teach me. So I learned a lot of it off of YouTube. And then like the practical knowledge and then the YouTube are two different worlds. So then I started attending bee club meetings. There's a Palm Beach Beekeepers Association. And it turned out that I had a mutual friend that actually was a commercial beekeeper. And she called me up on January 1st and said, "Hey, do you want to come help me feed some bees in Jupiter?" And I said, "Fuck yeah, I do." Like,
why
yes.
not?
So it was like my first real immersion in somebody else's bee operation. And she was feeding the bees sugar water, because in Jupiter there's a lot of commercial beekeepers that come in for the winter, so there's a lot of competition for food. And I had no idea what I was getting into. She drove a minivan, and her name is Tuckabee, and she spilled the syrup. It's inevitable to spill the sugar syrup, and there were so many bees in the van. Like, it was I was terrified at the time. Like, now I could jump in that van and no problem. But at the time, I was really like, holy shit, what am I getting into? I mean, they were like all over the windows and everywhere.
That might be my first reaction when we go over there. I'm not allergic, and I'm not afraid.
No,
I just shoo them out of the screen patio, but never had them all flying around.
Oh yeah, they were all over my arms. And so I actually got stung only one time because I put my arm back on the rest and I got stung. But when I tell her this story now, we're actually like really close friends, like almost like my best friend. She goes, "Oh, I can't believe you got in the van. I was really torturing you." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like, what am I supposed to do? Like, face your fears and get in that bitch." And that's what I did. And she taught me a lot. She is a queen breeder, and she has a different style of beekeeping. Even though we're both beekeepers, we live in two different worlds within one universe of bees. And so, yeah. So I learned a lot from her, and now we collaborate a lot. And we just got back from a trip from Georgia where they invited her to do a queen presentation in a Georgia State prison. So I went along as the helper, and it was mind-blowing to see the prisoners. And they all had their bee suits on, and they were great with the bees. And it was like, I don't know, it was I was scared when I first walked in because I haven't really been in a prison before, and it's an all-men's prison. But when I left, I felt like I had a kinship with these prisoners. Oh, wow. Because we both loved the same thing. And I mean, it was great. It was really great. And cool. After we left, I'm like, everybody there is living in a cell, even the bees. They all have their own cells. So
there you go.
Yeah. So
they have a bonding with the bees as well.
Yeah. So from doing my own removal out of a tire in somebody's backyard to like going to Georgia and showing beekeepers how to keep bees, it's been quite the journey. And bees have actually taken me in some really cool places. That I just went to Switzerland on a family vacation, and I met a Swiss beekeeper. Wow. We didn't speak English, but we knew what each other was talking about. And it was like an amazing experience. So, I mean, all around the world, all us beekeepers, we probably all do different things, and everyone has different techniques. So But it's a pretty cool world once I got to know other beekeepers and see in the world of bees. And then so here I have some hives. I have another location on this property, and I started out with one spot, and now I have 17 bee yards. That's a love bug.
Yes, I hope he didn't end up on my car later and I have to clean him off.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bugs out here. Actually, the last time I came out here and discovered a bunch of bugs was there was somebody drove a car into this last row of bees and knocked them over. And
yeah,
so,
I'm still kind of shocked that you tell me somebody,
yeah.
You referred to it as the fun as teenagers of cow tipping, they
Yep.
bee box tip.
Yeah, they bee box
and they
tip.
have no idea.
No. And it really sucked because it was Sunday morning and I take Sundays off. I don't work. And I had to jump up and grab my husband and come out here. And the hives were on their sides, but I leave ratchet straps on them. And so that kind of held them all together. And him and I tipped them up. I actually put a video of this on my Instagram account. But before we could, the whole bottoms were full of black widow spiders. So we had to deal with that, and then we tipped them up, and so I checked one of them yesterday. I was here last night working, and they seemed to be all right. They were really mad for about a week and a half, so I didn't really mess with them, but they are definitely calmed down now, so I can go in. I use natural comb instead of plastic foundations in my hive, so they're kind of delicate. And
so please educate your children and grandchildren not to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So this is a frame that came from another hive, and you can see it's drawn out, but originally I give them just a sheet of wax. And a lot of beekeepers use a plastic foundation right here, and then you have to wax it. I might have one somewhere in the truck, but I like doing everything as close to what the bees would actually do. So here's a piece so you can actually see it. They started to draw it out.
Oh yeah.
And so this is what I'm going to do today is just check out what's going on in there. Make sure those two that flipped are still, pretty good. And
tell everyone, you told me earlier, just in Florida, how many different species of bees?
So there's 320-ish species of bees in Florida. Some are solitary. I deal pretty much with honeybees, but I want everyone to take notice of not only the bees, the wasps, the spiders, like everything. It's all part of the ecosystem, like the roly-poly bugs, like
the love bugs.
They're all connected. It's all life. And I don't use any pesticides in my yard. And right now it's no mow May. So don't mow the Biden's alba, which is like the most prolific flower. Here's one right here. They're everywhere. It's one of the #1 pollinator feeders. So this is Biden's alba.
Oh, I thought it was a baby daisy, but okay.
Yeah, it's actually a medicinal plant. You can eat the whole plant. It's fights malaria. And so during COVID, we really were looking at medicinal plants. Just
sure,
what else are you gonna do besides make bread? And a lot of these plants that people consider weeds are actually really super beneficial.
Say that one more time.
They're not weeds.
Really loud.
They are super beneficial.
As I always say, they're all flowers. We just decided we didn't like those types of flowers.
Exactly. So like I got to know a lot of these plants. Like this is called common ragweed. This is false buttonwood. Anything with a flower on it is like amazing. Just leave it in your yard. A lot of people are like, oh, there's like these. This is I don't know the scientific names of everything.
That's okay.
They call these Mexican clovers or Florida snow.
Oh yes,
and you'll see them blanket out. And to me, I'm like, oh, that's amazing! Look at that. That's all that flowers. Food. Yeah,
anything that has flowers.
Everybody sprays them. So
I don't know what it is. It's a ground cover weed that has little purple flowers. It happened about 2 months ago, and I always call the grass cutter, and I'm like, don't cut the grass till they're done.
Yeah, that's them.
Is that it? Because there's bees everywhere feeding off of them.
Yeah, and a lot of people get stung that way because they're like, I'm gonna go walk in the flowers, and like, yeah, well, you know what? Like, put some shoes
or
on.
a bee condo,
Yeah. Everybody gets stung on the foot, and anytime I meet somebody, they always want to tell me their story of getting stung. So, especially little kids. I teach kids classes at a place called the Jupiter Creamery. It's up in Jupiter, Florida.
Yes, I go there to get my raw milk.
Oh yeah. So
hopefully I could do an episode with her one day. I love that place.
She would love it. Yeah, Susie's amazing. And all the little kids that I teach there, they're all like, Miss Beekeeper, I got stung. And I'm like, oh, were you barefoot walking around? Yeah. That's always how people get stung, is barefoot walking around. But You'll see when we open a hive, the honeybees are very chill. I actually make sure that all my colonies, I can requeen them if they are not in, like a characteristic that I like.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother story. And thank God I know a friend that's a queen breeder, so I have access to queens pretty much anytime I want. I can also grow my own, but I like hers because she's buying stock from a bigger commercial beekeeper company. And when I open the lid, I'm like, where was I going with this? When I open the lid, you'll see they're very chill. They don't want to like fly out and attack you. I give these tours all the time, and everybody is always, you know, their hands sucked into the, which you will be too. I guarantee you will. They have their hands sucked into the sleeves, and they're very apprehensive. And as soon as I open that lid, they think it's going to be like, you know, killer bees.
Movies.
And literally, I open the lid, and the bees are like, "Oh, hey,
you again?
Yeah,
with a friend.
Yeah, you got a friend with you. Yeah, they don't know you, so they're going to be buzzing you a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, they remember faces and smells. Bees communicate through pheromones. And so I guess they know my smell because I can be standing next to them. When we came up here to tip them back up with my husband, they were all over him. They didn't know who he was. And they were like, get this guy right here. Not to say I don't get stung. I don't get stung as much as you think because I'm very, very careful with the bees. I don't crush them. I've learned to watch them like they're watching me. And there's certain bees that are guard bees that'll show you. And they actually like hum up with their wings up. And they'll watch my hand movements. And so those are the ones, as long as they're not getting too active, I use smoke to calm them. It disrupts their communication because they communicate through smells. So the smoke masks that. And they also think their house is on fire. So they're going to go and gorge themselves with honey. And when they're gorged with honey, it's harder for them to sting. So it's sort of like a all-encompassing. And this is something that people who've been harvesting honey have been doing for decades. Like, no, thousands of years. There's, I think they found bees.
So please get educated before you decide to stick a bee box in the back of your house in the middle of an HOA neighborhood.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it right, you're just going to kill the bees. And that's even worse than trying to, you know, you can reach out to someone like yourself. I'm sure, that, as you said, they're all over the world. Find the one nearest to you. Get educated if you really want to do this. But you can kind of see you need to do it out a little bit because we don't want anybody getting stung from lack of knowledge.
No, and if the bees are aggravated, a lot of people don't know why they're aggravated or how to control them or how to remedy it. So those are definitely things that you should have in your wheelhouse before you have bees in a, not to say you can't have them in a residential neighborhood, because I have them at my house and I live in a very residential neighborhood, but I don't have an HOA. So that's the one thing. You can keep bees anywhere in the state of Florida.
You know, you can live in a neighborhood. You just need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
Yep. And then you register with the state. They give you a number. That is one time a year. They're going to come and inspect your hive. And they're there for you. They're not there to like criticize what you're doing. And a lot of times it's first time beekeepers and the inspector has to like give them pointers. It's almost like a little bit of a like lesson.
Right.
It's not supposed to be, but that's how it always turns out. And then what else? So we're going to go into a couple of these hives. Some of them are empty. I actually have a queen with me today that I was going to split and do another, make another colony. And that's what I was doing last night. That's why I brought 2 colonies home with me because I had extra queens. And my husband, I had told him, like, oh, I brought 2 colonies home. And there's already like 5 on the side of my property. So, you know, he's a good guy. He helps me move the bees. And he came out here last Sunday with me. But
I think you have to have someone that enjoys it too.
Well, he bought me the suit. So I'm like, this is your fault. That's how I get her.
So we're going to do multiple episodes. As you can see, there's so much for us to learn.
Yeah.
First, we like to say thank you. Anytime somebody. So this we're going to need when we finish, because after we put on this bee suit, we're going to go into like a bee sauna.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
that's nice.
It is. That's your fan that has a pouch. You can stick it in your bra. What I love about it is you can take it anywhere, and pretty much anytime I'm going to be outside.
Yeah.
That's on me in a pocket or something so that I can cool down.
Oh, yeah.
Also works great next to your bed if you wake up middle of the night, a little hot. You can cool yourself down.
Yeah. Oh,
this
that's cool.
is actually a jar grip because we are over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch. This helps you, but some people have used it as a mouse pad. So there you have it.
Oh, I'm going to keep that in the truck because every once in a while I run across something where I can't get the
like
lid
the water
off.
bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Since they decided to save millions by shrinking it down and we can't get it open.
Right.
And of course we are where it's warm, so we always need koozies.
Oh,
Never going to have too many koozies.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Come play with Donica.
I'm going to break and start another one. However, this is what I'm going to be putting on. You have probably seen them in the movies. I'm going to be putting on a bee outfit, which I know she will make sure I have it on all the way proper.
No holes.
No holes. And the only requirement she said was to have enclosed shoes, wear a hat, and recommended, which will happen soon, but not till I get the bee seat on. You don't get that kind of view. Sports bra. But you can see I mean, here's her truck. So I want you to see the distance. We've been standing even closer. I think I saw one bee fly by.
That was a love bug.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're not, attack.
No.
We have been this close and I am completely exposed.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. No,
but then you'll get to see when we get a little closer.
Yep.
Stay tuned for the next episode.